So, you have an anime movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do, and it's called Arrow of the Orion.
What? What do you have against onions?
What?
I mean, you had to have had a pretty nasty onion for you to call a whole movie Arrow Through the Onion.
No, I mean it's like the constellation in Greek mythology called Orion, based upon the hunter who was killed by a giant scorpion.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it now.
Wait for it to be better, but yet somehow still wrong.
It's Arrow Through the Orion, yeah.
And right on cue.
What's that?
Nothing. So we're gonna pick up with our main characters, Belle and Hestia, right?
Wait, is this still part of that? Is it wrong to give an innocent boy a harem in a dungeon anime?
Still not the right name.
Oh, it's not? Whoopsie.
But yes, it is in fact that same story, yeah.
So is this like a canon movie, or is this like an anime original story?
Yes.
I understand completely. Now, when does this thing take place?
Sometime in between season 1 and season 2. No further questions, please.
Wait, but what if,
I said no further questions, please.
Alright then, I guess, what can you tell me about this thing?
Alright, well, essentially, there's like this huge party, because there's like this giant spear in a stone, right?
Okay.
And whoever manages to pull the spear out of this stone gets like a prize or something.
Did you pull an Excalibur?
Maybe, and so everyone's trying, and they just can't get it out, though.
Why not?
Well, why does Thor's hammer let people lift it?
I don't know, maybe because of years of previously established lore that claims that those who wield Mjolnir must be pure and good of heart.
Alright, then why does Harry Potter's wand let him use
Because
it?
it formed some kind of connection with him from the moment he picked it up. That or he won it in a duel. Which one are you talking about exactly?
Plot convenience. They can't pull it out because I said they couldn't because it was convenient for the plot.
Oh, that! Yeah, why don't you just leave with that? That makes complete sense, and it's much, much easier of an explanation.
And then Belle, he's gonna try to pull it out, and he actually does pull it out.
Nice, so what did he win?
Well, he wins the right to be owned by a goddess.
What?
Yeah, so essentially we find out that this goddess Artemis left it in there, and she's trying to get Belle and his friends on a quest, right?
How do we find that out?
Easy, she's gonna show up and just, like, immediately embrace Belle and start calling him Orion.
Wait, wasn't Orion a giant who kinda, fell in love with Artemis, and then when she didn't love him back, he grandiosely committed suicide by taking out monsters that he absolutely could not kill on his own?
Maybe. Who's to say, what 1,000-year-old texts actually say?
And isn't Artemis's whole thing, like, no romance of any kind?
Maybe.
And do you think maybe we're making some decisions that might make some history nerd on the internet go, wow, they do not understand these characters whatsoever?
Okay, well, yeah, obviously it will do that, but on the other hand, recognizable name equals credibility.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's do that instead. Sounds way easier.
Cool, so everyone's gonna decide they're in on this quest, right?
Okay, then what's the quest?
Well, they gotta go to this castle to kill this monster.
Alright.
And Hermes is gonna arrange for them to all get new clothes.
Why does he do
So
that?
that we can sell movie-themed toys that, based upon their new clothes, are very obviously from the movie and nowhere else in the timeline.
That works for me.
And they're gonna be traveling on these dragons, right?
Well, how'd they manage to acquire dragons? It sounds like that would be difficult to acquire, especially
In such a short span of time.
Actually, super simple. Barely an annoyance.
Oh, really? Yeah, the elephant god of plot convenience is gonna show up and be like, here, have these dragons, so that way you don't go on a random side quest to find them.
Well, that sounds cool, actually moving towards a single unanimous goal without any side quests to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens along the way?
Oh, just a bunch of side quests.
Right, that makes sense.
And so then they're gonna save some children from some monsters, and then Belle and Artemis, they're gonna start to look at each other in, ways.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. And you remember how back in season 1, Hermes let Belle kind of fall into a pool of fan service?
What?
When he fell into the pool of bathing women.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did do that, huh? Why'd you bring that up, though?
Oh, no reason. Other than, the one reason that Hermes is gonna do exactly the same thing.
Hey, what?
Yeah, and so naturally when Belle falls in, everyone's super upset.
Understandably so, probably.
And Artemis, she's so upset that she's gonna pull Belle to the side to maybe, knock something out of him.
And does she?
Not really. Instead, they just have kind of like a nice, wholesome dance with some fireflies.
Aren't there like multiple stories in the old text about people trying to spy on Artemis or hunters in the bath that they wound up getting killed or turned into some sort of animal?
Well, first off, some scholars would argue that Belle's already technically sort of a rabbit, and second of all, shut up!
Shutting all the way up about a, faithful interpretation of a historical character.
And so eventually they're all gonna arrive at this castle, right?
Oh, okay.
But it turns out this giant monster is actually a giant scorpion.
Okay, some more.
Which is the thing that, it killed Orion in the original stories, remember?
Hey, that's related to the original story, kind of.
Oh, yeah, for sure we're keeping true to the history of it all, for sure, yeah.
Cool, so how do they kill this thing?
Oh, well, you see, it turns out this thing, it captured Artemis, and it's using her divine power to, do some damage.
What damage?
Oh, very imminent, very large scale, very deadly, but not so large or imminent that, we'd have to pull in anyone who's much, much stronger than the main character.
The Marvel TV show equivalency for sure, but wait a second. I thought Artemis was with Belle and Hestia and the rest of the group.
Ah, well, she is, but that Artemis is just kind of like a vessel. Her real body's in this giant crystal in the Scorpion. She's gonna use the arrow to, kill Artemis.
What?
Yeah, because, killing her is the only real way you could stop this.
Couldn't he just try to remove her from the crystal?
Nope, can't do it.
What if he calls in someone stronger who could do it?
Nope, physically impossible.
If they're fighting against a god's divine power, then surely even Uranus wouldn't mind if Hestia or Hermes decided to use their divine power to, put a stop to it.
Listen, sir, I'm gonna need you to get just all the way away from my spine about potential ways they could maybe save Artemis in this. She's gotta die. End of story.
Okay, getting all the way off that thing. thing.
And so Belle's gonna use the magic arrow to break her free of the crystal, and her body's gonna coming out, you know, without any clothes on.
Well, if that frees her, then shouldn't he just whisk her away and save her?
Hey, do you hear something?
Not other than the usual sounds of people hating their jobs, no.
Yeah, it kinda sounds like you're back on my spine about this thing. I distinctly, very specifically, and very kindly, I might add, asked you to get all the way down from there. If you don't respect that simple request, then all of society is just doomed.
I mean, like, surely not all of society.
If you can't respect a man telling another man to get off the first man's back, then all of society breaks down into just anarchy and a survival for food and shelter. Okay, fine, in the interest of preserving society, we'll get off your spine about the Artemis thing, alright?
Jeez.
And so now that Artemis is freed, her clothless body is just kind of floating in the air, right?
Wait a second, you know she's a maiden goddess, right? You absolutely should not do that.
Hey, you know, my spine's feeling a little tingly, actually.
Fine.
Anyway, now that her body is free of the crystal, Belle's gonna take his Hessian knife and, you know, stab it right through her chest, and he kills Artemis.
Wow, I mean, surely killing a god is a pretty serious sin, right?
Nope, she's not really pressing any godly charges against him. In fact, she has this little death video message where she's like, let's meet again and have 10,000 years of love in a single night.
Sounds kind of mathematically impossible.
Is it? Who knows? My genuine intuition of, you know, time. And then Belle's all sad, and then we get a cool musical number, and then Belle's all happy again, and everyone returns exactly to the way they were at the start of the movie, so that nothing's changed come season 2.
Cool. Well, you know, it sounds like a movie for sure.
Wait, really? You think it'll be good?
Well, you know, maybe, kinda, sorta, no, just no.
Wait, what?
This is a TV show that you're making a movie for. I mean, there's no way that just has never worked, right?
Well, there was the One Piece movie, there was the My Hero Academia movie, there was that really weird Spy X Family movie.
The point is, just next time we make a arc in this show that's centered around a goddess, maybe we don't make it into a movie where the main goddess dies at the end of that movie.
Well, I did have one idea about maybe doing an Eren Yeager.
What? Hey guys, Anime Pitch Meeting here. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then click over here because there will be more Danmachi content for you to click on. And if there's not, still click on it. It'll lead you to it eventually. You also subscribe, comment, like, dislike. No, don't dislike. Actually, don't dislike. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.